Hey guys, Editing Joker here, and before we start this video, there is quite a bit of background noise from the AC unit, because we are no longer in just my living room and the AC was all the way down there. It's now like touching distance now, so it's going to have a lot of background noise, I understand. I'm going to try and figure out a way to still have the AC, keep this room cool, but also not sound like a truck in the background. So I'm working on it, but there will be quite a bit of background noise, and the music can only do so much. But that's it. Let's get to the actual video now. Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And because I have been out of commission for the past couple of days, we are a little late on these videos, but better late than never. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new EX Dark Milim, who just dropped last week, technically. She is a dark physical unit. She uses a katana, which I didn't realize until I actually ended up pulling her. So I just stole Dark Diablo 2.0's katana because he uses it, and we'll leave it at Awakened 4-star right now. She's on Summer Memories, Octagram Demon Lord, and Dragon Hakai, so she does fall under Warrior's Mind Velzard's protection skill, so that's good. Her skills: she is an AoE 300%, and then lowers physical resistance by 15% for one turn, which is cool, but I don't think you're ever going to get past the nuke on her. And then 600% when you use double ult gauge. She has an own attack buff for 25% and a dark attack buff for 25%, which is, really, really good for 15 points, 25 attack, 25 dark attack, 15 cost means you can use it multiple times. It does last for 2 turns, which means that you can pretty much almost always have it on when you need it. And then her second skill converts any blue orb to her. So if you have a whole hand of blues, they're all Milims now. If you have a whole hand of greens and you use this skill, it does nothing. If you have 3 blues and 1 orange, you have 2 Milim blue orbs then. Congrats. So it can be used. Obviously it's meant to be used with the new Protector trainee who's making blues up the shiznits. So it does make sense. On another blue-focused team, it can also work out. It can work maybe not quite as efficiently as EX Light Shuna, but it is still fairly efficient and effective. So her Valor trait seals attack battle skills. It's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Look, we're really looking for the magic ceiling to stop orb changing and the rewind, but attack ceiling is the next best thing. And then her actual trait, if you have a dupe in her, is if you send 6 blues, she gets a 5% attack buff, which goes up to 8% the next turn, but only if you have dupes. And then at 120, 6-star awakened, everything, she gets another 20% ult damage, so 320% base. And then she needs Romorus to get extra crit damage, and then is a self-buffer. So she looks to be fairly interesting. She is a physical AoE unit, though. So obviously she's meant to be used for her beatdown battle, like duh. But outside of that, you can take her into Valor Cup. She's physical, so you can use like EX Rimuru and get the massive physical buff and physical resistance down. That can work on her. You can do a lot of other things with that. But in other content where it's single target based, maybe not quite as useful. Like, still an EX ult is 600%, which is more than all the other old units are doing. So I mean, she can still be effective. It's just that she's best used in AoE setting, which come and go. So let's test her out. Alright, so starting out, we're going to go into EX3 of the new beatdown battle. We haven't done the actual, E3 video yet, but obviously this will be the first team that we use. We've got the new trainee, we've got physical Toa underneath her. We're bringing Light Shuna because I want to use her Orb Steal on turn 2 to get Milim some orbs. Guy is going to be orb changing a lot, and he's giving us ult, and because Milim is finally physical, we can actually give her crits from Guy now, and that also means we can bring Violet, who can then give us the extra crit damage and lower the ult resistance of the enemies, and then we also have the swimsuit Shizu, who's going to give us that 2-turn weakness damage, and convert the Milim ult orb, and that way we can get full hands of Milim still. So this team, I have already used this, I have already cleared up to Inferno 2, so I know this team works, but let's just show off how well it works. Okay, so because I've been away, I've been keeping up with, the sweaty tryhards and asking for their opinions on this meta as it stands right now, and the general consensus is it's pretty fun. So let's show off why it can be quite entertaining. So turn 1, we do have a special convert for blues, which Guy can take care of easily. And then we're going to flip in Shizu for Shuna, and that way next turn we can hopefully get a 3-orb of somebody, bring Shuna in, steal those, and then bring Milim in for Shuna, and then have 6 Milims. Now, we'll see how well that actually works out. But we do have Shuna on the other side, who heals every single turn up to like the highest unit's HP. So if you focus one unit, they're going to get healed all the way up to full, because everybody else was full. And we got a 2-2-2 spread, so thanks a lot. We got Guy orbs. That's cool. So let's do that instead. Let's do this and convert that. Alright. And then we'll bring Milim in for, I think, yeah, Violet. Cool. And then we'll use Trainee, who will give us 40 skill points. We'll watch her personality and... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. As you can see, we've also fixed the lag from the... oh, except there. Holy crap, that was tearing a lot. Okay. Well, I don't think that was my computer's fault right there. But, alright, there we go. So we've lowered their defense now. We've gotten 40 skill points. Now we can use Milim to change all the orbs to her and give herself the dark buff. So now we got a handful of Milim. It's been a long time since I've said that, but we got a handful of Milim now. And now we're gonna send it away. And then she has an ult. And then we have, another training gauge right there. 2 training gauges, which is 80 skill points just in reserve right there, on top of whatever we have from sending the actual 5 combo. Alright. So it's turn 3. We have an ult for Milim, and we have a full hand of blue, and we have another blue coming in. Doesn't really matter, though, because we're going to swap that orb. Alright. And then we have only 1 Milim orb, which is really unfortunate. Except it's not, because we have Trainee to give us 40 points. And then we can use this. Oh my gosh. Ow! Oh, another hand of Milim. Oh, let's do another Trainee now. And that's another 40 points, which means that we now have enough to use the Shizu buff, which will last for 2 turns. And now, we're going to do a butt-ton more damage. 24k. 12k on guards. Alright, so that's looking real nice. 51k. And now we have an EX ult. And that was very, very difficult right there. We do have a defense ceiling skill right here, which doesn't really matter. But we are on turn 4. She doesn't have a dark buff anymore, but we can definitely reattach that. And then we can send her away. And yeah, let's do this. We'll bring Violet in. We'll change that blue, and then we will, I think, yeah, I think we'll just run with this. So we're gonna hold on to the double training. We're not gonna use anything next turn. I want the 80 skill points here, and I want whatever this gives us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So another 71 skill points plus 80, looking pretty good. Ugh. Ow. Do we have enough to use both of the buffs, though? That is the question. That is the major question. Alright, so there's the attack ceiling skill, which actually is kind of unfortunate, because I think that's Violet's skill. So, yeah, we did. Okay, well, I think we're going to kill regardless. So let's bring you in now for Violet, since you can't do anything. Alright. Let's use Guy. No, let's use Training to get enough points to use Guy. And then we'll just alt buff here and get the crits. So right now, Milim has the 80% alt damage right here, plus the 8% I have from the charm that I have on. And then on her own, we have the weakness strike from Shizu. We have the attack and dark attack. We have guaranteed crits. And they have how much health? 63k, which isn't a lot. They have their low defense lowered as well, so we'll go ahead and nuke with this, and we'll see... Actually, we'll do the orbs first and then the nuke and see how much this does. 33k. So up from 24k, just because she's got the crit now. Alright. And how much do we do here? Drago Splash. And 369,000 damage. And they had about 70 left. So definitely a little bit overkill. And we were missing Violet's double buff, right? That's the other thing. We were missing 40% extra crit damage and 55% ult resistance down, which would have pushed our damage to like 700,000 or something like that. It's crazy. So Milim on this team does have a lot of capability of doing a lot of damage with support, right? With support. So that's that. I don't really know where else to take her with this specific team, so I think we're going to try her out on a few other blue-focused teams now. I guess is what we're going to do. Alright, so the next team we're going to try it out on is kind of a weird makeshift water team. We're going to go on the Water 2.0 Tempered Edge, because there's actually not a lot of options for us right now. We're going to bring Rimuru, since obviously Water Milim wouldn't do anything for this Dark Milim. But we've got Water Rimuru for the orb change, we've got Shuna for her orb change and alt buff, Physical EX Rimuru for his buff and his also orb changing. We've brought Fire Milim, because she's got a single green orb change, and she can give crit and seal the crit resistance that Shuna is going to have. And then Milim will do our best to get her an EX ult and all of her buffs. And actually, really, I'm going to switch this charm. Instead of crit damage, we're going to go with the alt gauge rush, because she's going to need it. Because we don't have anyone that just gives alt gauge, and we also don't have anyone to hide her ult. She definitely has the highest attack stat, so let's find a good starting hand. Oh, well, I mean, that works. First try, and we get a double green, so let's just use Rimuru, and then we'll flip out, I guess, Milim for Rimuru, and Milim for Rimuru, and we won't get confused one bit. Alright? Okay, so we don't have type advantage here, obviously, and on turn 3 we have to swap her out, so that's the important thing. We were doing no damage with Shuna, but okay. Oh, because she's attack lower, that's right. Okay, so we have, I mean, 45 and 20, that's 70 points. We don't have enough. What do we do here? We could use this Milim's orb change. Alright. And then we can use, I think, Shuna's orb change. Call it good. And I really wish that green was this Milim, but unfortunate. Whatever. Go ahead and use this. 20%, and then we'll start getting extra skill points on these blues. And I don't think we do have enough. Alright, so let's do this then. Let's bring you in. We'll steal that last one. There we go. We got a full hand of blues. Alright, everything worked out. We're fine. I miscalculated. Holy crap, who would have thought? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of people with the alt gauge, or protection gauge to give it to us. Maybe I could have swapped up the supports on the other units. Oh well. Okay, so she has an ult now, which is great, because look at this. We have a pretty good orb change hand, because we only need to use one. Alright, Milim, you're taking... How about you not target Milim over and over and over again? Really appreciate that. Oop. Okay, so 3 stacks of Rimuru. We have to leave Milim up front, though, because we need to get her ult. But also, we can't have her up front because this is a terrible hand. Because, well, not a terrible hand, but this is the turn where she gets attack nerfed, and we do not want that. So, we shall just use the Rimuru Orb Change, and then we'll save the steal with Milim for later. So we'll bring you out. And then we got a full hand of blues again, so perfect. Alright, 1600 damage right there. 16. Shuna does how much? 274. Awesome. Okay. So, okay, she really hates Fire Milim. Like, really, really, really hates Fire Milim. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this Rimuru in for Fire Milim. Yep, and we'll steal those, and then we can use either one of them for their orb change, doesn't really matter here. And then we'll bring in this Milim for, it doesn't really matter who, because they're all going to get stolen. So we'll do this, we'll do one more stack of Rimuru, and then we shall yoink all of these orbs, because they are all blues, and now we have a 5-hand of Milim. Which is not the best because we want to send 6, but there's nothing we can do about it. But we do have her EX ult now, so that's great, and we're only on turn 4. And we're doing 5,300 damage because we have the extra attack and dark attack now. And a cheeky counter, because why not? Okay, we're getting really good RNG on these orbs, huh? Alright, so there's the EX ult. Now we just need to keep on stacking. So we're going to do 600% ult damage, which is a lot more than what Water Hinata would do, because she's at 490 or something like that, right? And I kind of don't want to bring Fire Milim in here, so we're not gonna. Alright, so the attack and dark attack lasts for 2 turns, so even though we used it last turn, she still has it on her. So that's really nice that it does last for multiple turns. Buffs that last multiple turns are probably one of the best things, because you can fire and forget almost, and then put her in the back and be like, okay, I don't have to worry about these skills. Even if I had to bring them up front because I had a really, really crappy hand, we can still have the buff going, and you know, it's nice. So we're on turn 6. Okay, cool. One more stack. And what's the hand look like now? Oh, easy. Easy. 1, 2. Alright, we're going to send this ult, and then we'll send this. Perfect. So I think we'll have... let's see, that's 380, 420, 460. I think we'll have about 9 stacks if we get the good luck this next couple turns. I mean, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we shall do everything. So we'll steal, we'll green, and we'll orange. Steal, green, and orange. Thankfully, Shuna's was cheaper. Okay, and now we just have to make sure that Shuna has an ult next turn, which she will. Okay, perfect. Because if we didn't. Or, well, actually, Rimuru, doesn't really matter. So we have 2 units that don't have to be up front, because Milim has to be up here for the physical buff from Rimuru, and then Fire Milim needs to give her that crit and seal the crit resistance that this Shuna has. So, okay, we're good. And we can use the ult buff as well. So, okay, we're looking pretty good. Will we kill? Well, the physical buff will have crits, we'll have the ult buff, we'll have the attack and dark attack, the EX ult. I mean, she doesn't have that much health. This isn't a new stage, so... Yeah, okay, we're gonna kill. We will kill. Oh, we didn't have enough for that final stack, huh? Ooh, unfortunate, to say the least. Oh, because normally I'm used to running Water Shion here, and she has the every 2 turns you get protection gauge. Okay. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, so let's use the ult buff, lower the water resistance, which doesn't matter. And then we'll swap her out. Yes, there we go. And then we'll swap Rimuru out. And we'll do the crit and seal. We'll do the physical buff. And we already have the dark and normal attack still going, so that's already shown there. And you lower something, right? Defense down. So let's send you first. Actually, will you kill? You might kill, actually. No, I don't want to do that. Let's do some normal orbs. And then the AoE. And hopefully the normal orbs don't kill. Okay, 15k, 16.9, and then the EX ult, 306,000 damage. So we were able to kill. Relatively close. He had like 274 left or something like that. So, okay. I mean, not bad for an AoE unit with, you know, 1, 2, 3 buffs. 3 major buffs from other support characters and then her own buffs. I'd call that pretty good. And she's relatively self-sufficient because she's making her own orbs, technically. And she's giving herself a multi-turn buff. So, she's a pretty good unit. On paper and in practice now that I've actually had time to sit down and use her. This isn't the first time I've used her, obviously, but I have been fairly impressed with her. So let's move on. Okay, so for the final team, the final stage, we're going to go into the Space 2.0 Tempered Edge. Normally, you know, Leon and Rain and all that. We're going to bring Rain anyways, right? So, I mean, we're kind of there. But we brought Frey, who's going to change all the orbs to green just like Guy would, and also give us 40 points, and give guaranteed crits to physical units, which we have 3 physical units, so we're looking pretty good there. We've got Rain for the turn 1 green buff, because we're bringing the 2 skill point units down here as support, so we could use the what hope to be an orb change and the green buff turn 1. Because we don't have sets. I don't think we have set hands here yet. And then the Hero 2.0, because she can give that all typing resistance down, which means that our dark unit will hit harder, and also we can swap Milim's orb for a green, so we can keep her up front and try and get that EX ult. And then Milim and Violet are here for their big time buffs and your convert. So let's see how this goes. We have to find a good starting hand though. So hold on. Alright, we're in business. It only took like 3 resets to get this, so I'm pretty pleased. So because we're starting out with extra skill points, we can use both the convert and the green buff immediately, which means that we can already start getting a lot of gauge back for protection, for skill points, and for Milim herself. So let's go ahead and swap out the Hero. And, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll spread the damage out, because that's what we want to do. Alright, so we're looking good. 100 skill points, Frey is ready, and then we've almost got an ult for Milim, so how does the next turn play out? That's a lot of Dark Milim, I'll tell you that much. Oh, we have 2 Dark Milims. Alright, well, whatever. It's not really what I'm looking for, but we are binded in, so we don't really have a choice now, do we? So let's buff ourselves for funsies. And we have 2 orbs here. We could steal the blue, this 1 blue. Kind of a waste though. Let's just use Frey. Let's just use Frey. Alright, we're only gonna give Milim crits. That's fine though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're binded in, so we have this ult for Milim that we can't really do much about right now. Guard. Okay, cool. Okay, so, I mean, this could work out, though. So the blues are damage lowered, but not gauge lowered. So that's the important thing. So what we can do is we could steal those 2 blues. Alright, perfect. And we have oranges, which this should, yeah, get us the EX ult next turn. And now we just need to get double Frey, because that's the only way we're going to be able to use the big-time buffs and then also Hero 2.0's resistance down. So let's go ahead and just do this. And that's a single target ult. Yeah, we'll send it on Dino. It doesn't really matter. Okay. 13k. Awesome. Alright, doing 5k there, 8,000 there. We have the EX ult ready to go. Oh, right. Rain is type disadvantage. Okay, well, you need to get out of here then. Okay. So, let's do... Ooh. Okay, so what can we do here? What can we do? Not much. We can't really do all that much. I mean, well, actually, hold on. No, because it's a 1, 2, 3. So let's get Rain out of here, because that's the important. She can't die. I don't want her to die. Let's go ahead and swap that orb for Milim. Alright. And then... do we steal them again? 55 points right there. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Milim orbs. Or we could do this. And we could take you out. And then we could steal that 1 blue. And then we have 4 blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it gets us almost back. And we need to use the attack and dark attack one more time as well. So that is additional pointage that we have to consider. Alright, cheeky counter. Alright, the oranges are damage lowered. You're gonna leave now. And yeah, so we have to do this. Maybe I shouldn't have used that skill immediately. We should have held on to it for the big time nuke. Difficult choices, huh? Alright, you're going away. And we're just gonna do this. Alright, so that's 81 points, 8 and 8 is 160, we need 135. Okay, that should be enough though. Alright, please don't kill anybody up front, because I kinda need them all to live. Alright, that's not good. Alright, that's fine. Okay, I think we're in business now. Okay. So, ooh, the hero has a lot of orbs. Look at that. Okay. So let's use this, and let's use that. Alright, perfect. So that's the resistance is down, so our dark unit can actually do decent damage here. And then we've also ult buffed, so now let's bring you in for the hero, because you have so many orbs. And then, yes, we'll do this. Double Fray gets us 80 points off the bat, so we have just enough to use the crit damage up and the ult resistance down, and we will try and wipe out this entire team. They have 239k HP, we have 70% ult damage, and then we also have the dark attack, guaranteed crits, crit damage, and normal attack. I don't really know if we can, but we're going to find out. Nice, quick, and in a hurry. Milim does 158 across the board. Can we kill this Milim? I don't actually know. We do. Okay, I think Valentine's going to heal them both up a lot. Oh no, left him pretty low. Okay. That worked out. So let's use this then. We still have the attack and dark attack. We have type advantage against, them for a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5 and 6 with Violet. Come on, Violet. 11k. Alright, we have 2 ults now. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, that kind of worked. Oh, they stunned Milim. Unfortunate. Okay, well, we're gonna kill with Violet. So, okay, I mean, we didn't do nearly as much damage as I wanted, but we took them down quite a bit. So we'll let Violet finish us off, because we don't see Violet's ult very often. Okay. I mean, was it the best? Definitely not. No. But it was enough to get us to a winning point. It is 8 turns in, though, and you could bring a different team and do this in 8 turns, and it'd be probably a lot more impressive. But it is what it is. So, overall, I think Milim is a pretty good unit, and we didn't have a dark AoE unit that was even relatively new, because, it was Dark Rimuru, right? Dark Rimuru and Grand Admiral Diablo from the 1-year anniversary last October. It's been a minute. So, I'm definitely not upset at the pick of it being Milim, for one, and the typing, because it definitely needed it. And she does fit on multiple teams. Physical did get a whole crap ton of buffs for the first 3 months of EX being a thing. So there are a lot of supports you could throw around Milim and to make her look good. I mean, we could have brought Albus on on a blue team for Pierce if they didn't nerf Pierce a lot. But overall, I think I would give her an 8 out of 10. Maybe, yeah, I think an 8, 8.5, somewhere in there. She's self-sufficient, and she's got her own personal buffs, so 8.5 could bump it up to a 9. Don't ask me why I'm not putting her at 10. I don't know. She changes her own orbs and she gives herself buffs. I mean, that's pretty much what you want for an ideal nuker, huh? I could be persuaded. But overall, I think she's a really good unit. But let me know what you guys think. That's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.